Preseason game number 2 is in the books, and after this video, I never, ever, 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 ever want to talk about it again. Because the performance that the New York Giants just put out there was an absolute joke. And it all starts with number 8, the 5th highest cap hit in the NFL. I understand Daniel Jones played in the game for the first time in 10 months after tearing his ACL in Week 9, but the mistakes he made today were inexcusable, and he looked like a rookie, undrafted free agent out there. I am officially worried about Daniel Jones. I am officially worried about this team, and I think there should be an open competition as to who the starting quarterback should be. 28-10 in the preseason. The Giants were whooped in every aspect of the game. This is the worst preseason game I think I've ever covered. This is my 4th season covering the New York Giants. This was horrible. This was a joke. This was inexcusable. Daniel Jones went 11 for 18 with 138 yards and 2 interceptions, including a pick 6. It should have been 3 interceptions. On the first play of the game, he threw a stop route predetermined. That's the thing. Before the ball was snapped, Daniel Jones says, I'm throwing this stop route to Malik Nabers. You know what Derek Stingley did there? He sat at the top of the route and said, I dare you. And what did he do? He jumped right in front of it. He dropped it. He would have went dancing in the end zone. It was an awful performance by Daniel Jones today. Now, people are going to say, Marshall, don't overreact. It's just preseason. You also told me it was just OTAs. You also told me it was just minicamp. You also told me it was just training camp. Thing is, it's not. It's his 6th training camp. It's his 6th preseason. It is 6th OTAs. It is his 6th minicamp. It is year number 6. Nothing I saw today did anything except for reconfirm what I believe in Daniel Jones. He is not an NFL starting quarterback that can put your team in a position to win games consistently. I'm tired of hearing it's just the preseason. I'm tired of hearing it's just training camp. I'm tired of hearing it is just OTAs. Daniel Jones looked horrible. What was the throw to Malik Nabers on the stop route? Predetermined. What have we been saying for 6 years? Daniel Jones predetermines who he throws to before the play. What about the play where he actually did throw the pick 6? What did he do? He almost took a sack. Then he got out of it, pump fake to the guy, almost took the sack, and then threw it to him again. Throw the ball out of bounds. Live to play another day. The worst thing a quarterback can do is turn a bad play into an even worse play. And that is what he did. You learn that the day you put on a helmet and play quarterback for the first time. Because 2nd and 10 is better than a PAT for the other team. The way Daniel Jones played quarterback today was disrespectful to the New York Football Giants. Daniel Jones being this team's quarterback is disrespectful to the New York Football Giants. This team is about greatness. This organization is a blue blood in the National Football League. They have been a team for 100 years. And in their 100th year, I have to watch Daniel Jones play football. And it takes the love out of it. He sucks the fun out of it. He could suck the fun out of a 10-year-old's birthday party. He is awful, and this team must move on. Or Brian Dable will lose his job, and Joe Shane will lose his job, and we will have more years of god-awful football. It's year 6. It is a joke. I'm apathetic. I don't even know if that's a word. I am apathetic to the New York Giants right now because of Daniel Jones. It's not fun to be a Giants fan anymore. Aren't you tired of going out into the world and people laughing because Daniel Jones is your quarterback? There is not anyone in the world that is not a New York Giants fan that believes that this man is a quality quarterback. I know he's not in the same stratosphere as C.J. Stroud, but you saw the difference today in what a good quarterback looks like and what a bottom-tier quarterback looks like. Did he look good in the second quarter against the Texans' backup offense? Sure, but he also couldn't lead a touchdown drive in the 2-minute warning against the second and third strings. He misses Eric Gray on a wheel route. That was a first down. He looked terrible, and I am sick of it. I am sick of it. He looked terrible before the injuries last year, and he looks terrible again today. It's year fucking 6. It is time. It is time. If your wife cheats on you the first year together, the second year together, the third year together, then she does it in year 4, you know what she's going to do? She's going to cheat on you again. It's 6 years in. We are almost 2,000 days into the Daniel Jones experiment. He is what he is, which is a bad NFL quarterback. And I am batshit worried that this season is going to be over before it even starts, like it did last year when you lost 40-0 in week 1. I'm just over it, man. I am tired of watching him play quarterback for this franchise, for this team, for this logo, for this shield. It is embarrassing that he is the quarterback for this team. What's your confidence level? 1 to 10. 1 being you're not confident, 10 you have the most confidence in the world. And I just want to say this, I am going to root for Daniel Jones because he's the quarterback of my football team. And this show is more fun when the Giants are good. But he's not good. And it's just over. It is over. I don't care if it's one preseason game. He needs to play every snap against the Jets. He is not ready for week 1 against the Vikings. Because you know what? The Vikings, they're going to have one of the best defenses in the league coached by Brian Flores. And if he is not ready to play, it's going to get early quick. And I'll tell you this much. That leash for Daniel Jones is going to be short because the New York Giants' life for Joe Shane and for Brian Daboll is on the line. And Brian Daboll knows too much football to think that Daniel Jones can actually save his job. I'm not sure Tommy DeVito can either, but I'd rather roll with a quarterback on a minimum salary that's 2 years, 1 year into the NFL than a guy that's in year 6 with the 5th highest cap hit in the NFL. I'm over it, man. Just over it. Darius Slayton had a really nice play. He beat a backup corner for the Houston Texans on an outside release go route. Great ball by Daniel Jones, his best throw of the day. But, man, they couldn't even put a touchdown drive together in the final 2 minutes. The offensive line did look better. I didn't think that they moved the line of scrimmage as well as they did against the Detroit Lions, but I felt like they protected Daniel Jones well. And I think of the 19, here it is from Jordan Renan, the Giants allowed 1 pressure on 19 dropbacks with their starting O-line on the field in the first half. He says this is the biggest positive take from this loss. I mean, did anyone have fun today watching the New York Giants? Did anyone? Like, if you're a season ticket holder, why are you going to the games this year? Sell them and make money. Because if you're going to watch this, you're going to leave every game pissed the hell off. The dude threw 3 picks. One of them just got dropped. Just over it. I'm just over it. This team needs new DNA. And is it fair? Probably not. But you know what? This guy's never going to do anything as the New York Giants quarterback. He already peaked. He peaked. We're just going down after this. It's over. We are 2,000 days into this. It's never going to happen. It's never going to happen. I do want to talk about Elijah Chatman, who played his tail off today, and he deserves some credit because I'll show love to them because he actually freaking did something that matters and is going to help this team in the future. But first, I got to give a huge shout out to today's sponsor, Prize Picks. Go to prizepicks.com/CLNS and use that promo code CLNS, and Prize Picks will match your first deposit up to $100. It's the #1 daily fantasy sports app in the game. Football is here. Basketball is almost here. And all you do is put a lineup together and you simply pick more or pick less on their projected stat line. Unfortunately for me, my Prize Picks lineups did not hit because C.J. Stroud tore up the New York Giants defense. We're going to talk about defense in a second. Eric Gray, his cashed. No, Eric Gray didn't cash either. I went 1 of 3. 1 of 3. Maybe I was too optimistic. I was too drunk off the Giants' Kool-Aid. Nabers had some really nice catches, though. The 14-yard out route from Daniel Jones, had to climb the ladder to go get it. Ball was behind him. He went up on the right side, climbed it again, went up 2 hands. Nabers is a stud. Nabers is a stud. Man. PrizePicks.com/CLNS, promo code CLNS. Select more, select less. Play Prize Picks today. This link will be in the comments and description. All righty. Giants defense. I thought at times they looked good. I felt the pass rush from Brian Burns. I felt the pass rush at times from Kayvon Thibodeax. Thibodeax had a nice play setting the edge in the run game as well. But the Giants DBs were cooked. Deontay Banks got sunned by Nico Collins. Nobody could guard John Mechie. I felt like every single time we looked up, a Texans receiver was wide open. I am extremely concerned about the Giants' defensive back room, in specific the cornerback room. Man, today was horrible. Like, every aspect of the game was horrible. Outside of Elijah Chatman, a Brian Burns spin move pressure, a Dexter Lawrence bat down, a stop on 4th down that would have resulted in a field goal in the regular season, like, nothing was good. Nothing was good. Elijah Chatman played great. He had an awesome play where he ran like 40 yards down the field on the left sideline to tackle the running back, showing off the effort and the athleticism. I think he's a lock to make this team at this point. So the offensive line and Elijah Chatman were big-time winners today. But the number one loser was number 8. And I don't want to hear it's just preseason. You know why? Because it's year 6. It's his 6th preseason. He's not a rookie. Not a second-year guy. Not a third-year guy. Not a fourth-year guy. Not a fifth-year guy. It's year 6. What's your one-word reaction to the Giants' loss versus the Texans? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Outside of the performance for the Giants, it also sucked on the injury department. Micah McFadden left the game on a cart holding his hip or groin area. I couldn't tell which one it was. He was in a lot of pain. I hope he's all right. Giants linebackers look thin. Darian Beavers was terrible today. Couldn't tackle, couldn't wrap up. And the Giants linebackers are hurt. Deontay Johnson is hurt. Micah McFadden is hurt. I also think there was another linebacker that left the game as well. Matthew Adams left the game as well. I'm not sure if we're going to talk about him. Ryder Anderson, he left the game as well with a hamstring injury early on in the game. I don't know. And people are, Marshall, you're too negative. Marshall this, Marshall that. Like, I just want my team to be better. I don't think that's the most crazy thing in the world. I want them to play better. And for the better part of 10 years, they have been the laughing stock of the NFL. And I'm not going to say, I told you how well they played against the Lions. I didn't say it's just the preseason. Let's not overreact. I'm going to tell you how it is today. The Giants looked like a team that are going to be struggling to win 5 games this year based on today. The Texans punched them in the mouth over and over and over again. 5 turnovers. 5 fucking turnovers. That's preseason? No, that's going to carry over. It's going to carry over. 21 completions for 205 yards. Remember when Brian Dable was supposed to run an offense that pushed the ball downfield? Giants had time today. 1 pressure and 19 pass sets for the starting line. And if you were telling me Daniel Jones was aggressive today, your brain has been warped because he threw 3 passes over 15 yards. Catch to Nabers, 4. 2 catches by Nabers, an interception, and a completion to Slayton. And all of those completions except 1 were against the second-team defense. The pass to Jalen Hyatt, what are you doing, bro? It's inside, it's behind him, and it's short. The actual interception, they threw a pick 6. What are you doing? Throw it away. But whatever. It's just a preseason, right? We'll be fine. We'll be fine week 1. I am scared. I am scared of what this team is going to be this year because I can't go through another year last year. That was awful. Make sure you are following me on social media. If you want to continue the conversation over there, I would be more than willing to do so. So hit me up at @MarshallGreen_ on Twitter, as well as @MarshallGreen_ on Instagram.